So while you bring this, I am bringing that. We are waiting for stockpile some armament. You are doing your own, anticipating the day when all them will let use. Now, funny enough, we know some of them are beginning to use it now. But I want to tell you, at that time there was no war. That's the meaning of Cold War. So how does this sit emotional intelligence in the Cold War? First of all, you must understand that people will trigger you. I'm going to expand this discussion. It could be business, it could be commerce, it could be sector. People will trigger you. People will want response from you. And people may not really understand you. Now, whatever you do as a reactor, it can mean your position of things mentally. Please, I don't want to speak behind it. I want you to follow me. That people trigger you is not the problem. The problem is your response. Are you following? If you have control over it, you can tell yourself, maybe I should delay what I'm to say to this person. Emotional intelligence can be defined. Please, I want us to take down the definition because it helps us for unilateral reasons. It is the ability to perceive, to interpret, demonstrate, control, and use emotions to communicate with and relate with people. It is the ability to understand, interpret, and respond to people's emotions. What it means is that, now let me take you on another journey. Somebody may do something, and it is your own interpretation of that thing that made you angry with this. Are you following? Yeah. See, somebody did something to you. Now you interpreted it as they had your worst interest at heart, and then you are reacting. Now, what emotional intelligence does for you is you make beautiful excuses for that person. You extrapolate, and it might even be sick. There might be something happening psychologically. Maybe this person is not in the best frame of mind. And all of these things you're doing will arrive at a situation where you're delaying gratification. You want you to be so angry. And that is why you see, sorry I'm calling somebody you know, there's a presidential aspirant who is beating everybody at the emotional game. He knows when not to talk. He knows how to hug even when you're spitting at him. You know what he is doing is he's emotionally taking himself away from the political game. Are you following? Now let me complete. Here are basic signs of emotional intelligence. Please take this down. One of the predominant signs is an ability to identify and describe what people are feeling, which means that if you are emotionally intelligent, you'll be very, very empathetic to people's plight. Somebody died, and that's the best time for you to start gloating. Or start, there's a part of you that feel people. I'm not saying you should be an extrovert or a sanguine. We have about 4 temperaments: choleric, phlegmatic, melancholic, and sanguine. But you don't need to be out of yourself to feel people. Please, am I communicating? Yes. What it means is that there's a place in the Christian Bible that says, when you go to the house of where they are mourning, you mourn with them. So that is the emotional intelligence angle. What it means is that you feel people like seriously, you want to be part of their problem. You want to be part of their solution, sorry. Secondly, there's an awareness of personal strength and limitation. Thirdly, there is self-confidence and self-acceptance. 4, the ability to let go of mistakes. And a strong sense of curiosity, particularly about other people. Now, the whole idea behind emotional intelligence is understanding that people are more. You're not the only one in this world. And even though human beings are naturally draconian, if you've read the books The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes, you find out the brutish nature of man. Everybody is always looking out for themselves. But can you imagine if the son decided to be selfish for one day? And I will not share my son with anybody today. What will happen to that clothes you dry? Are you following? So the beautifulness of human beings in balance and emotional intelligence brings out this balance effortlessly. Then we have accepting responsibilities for mistakes and the ability to manage emotions in difficult situations. Something happened last week, Saturday, as I was coming back from the soccer pitch. I'm sorry, Ella, I did not train today. You will pay me for that. So, Usually when I'm coming back from, I do that till 1, then I go home and rest and all of that. But there was this place I used to see young men, they are always there drinking. They have fun there. This particular day, I don't know if they fought, or all I just know is I heard people changing words. No go better for you, it go better for me, no go better for you. You know? But I wanted to know because these are the same faces I see at that place. Now to cut long story short, the woman must have fallen out with some of those guys, and then I was hearing you, they owe me, you they owe me. Now the thing about this is her emotional intelligence game. Her emotional intelligence game did not let her understand that there was a business out there. That these were the people that ensured she was in business. Are you following? What it does for you when you react, just like that Coca-Cola bottle I shoot, is that there is no form of control anymore. And what it does for you is that you express everything. And what happens when you express everything is that you cannot do damage control anymore. Are you following? Those things you would have said, you can't take it back again. You might even apologize later. But that call has been made. Do you follow? And that's one of the reasons why, even though we are human, we make some of these mistakes, we must understand that there are a lot of things we need to, maybe you need to sleep over it. Maybe you need to, maybe let me just look at this thing again one more time. And you find out that if you do that, you will not have some of the problems you have today. A lot of people don't have access to their helpers anymore because of some of the things they said they have. Some people cannot do business, they don't have social currency. You don't have, it's not every time you need money. You need somebody who's going to point, I know that guy, right? Give him the opportunity. By the grace of God, I'm a type of social currency. Even here, I just met one of my guys there. And for a few minutes before you were talking about another opportunity. And I want to learn from them. And so, I might be older, but I'm learning. There's something to pick from them. So what happens is emotional intelligence will help you know, do I talk? Do I not talk? Do I listen? Do you know listening is a skill? Yeah. And it's one of the skills that is dying at this point. Everybody is talking. Social media is shouting. There are not enough listeners anymore. You watch. And so sometimes when I get into it, also you can almost show them that you know something here. It is okay to go and maybe call the medic. But you know what happened is you added something to your level of intellect. Are you following? Are you following, please? Yes, the whole essence of this conversation, I am going to be leaving by 1:40. There's this short time for all I have to say here, but let's just skip ahead. I want to quickly go to the components of emotional intelligence. Let's put this down. First is to perceive emotions. Secondly is to reason with emotions. Thirdly, you understand emotions. Fourth is to manage emotions. These are different levels of emotional intelligence. Now I start from the first. When you perceive emotion, the first step is understanding the emotion. You perceive them accurately. In many cases, this might involve understanding the non-verbal signals such as body language and facial expression. And somebody is telling you, oh, thank you for coming. I love you. You can see from their facial expression that they are receptive to you. So I tell you, thank you for coming. I said, thank you for coming now. You have come. No, you don't need to be told. You don't need to, they don't want you around there. Are you following? So emotional intelligence is that now if I am somebody who is intelligent, I know you don't like me. Maybe I need to go to somebody else to get access to that. I may not need to touch you because you are acting like you are not touching. If I touch you, you may even so emotional intelligence is knowing what to do with people, relationship. There are people who you just come and one word, and then you're gone. There's no connection with light and darkness. You guys don't have anything in common. In Amos chapter 3, verse 3 says, can two walk together except they agree? So if there is no connection, means I just need to do the barest minimum. Are you following? Yes. It's not everybody. I want to correct something. Emotional intelligence does not mean everybody will be your friend. It just determines how you react, how you follow them. There are people who you know, if you come into this place, you start to relate with them, it might turn into something else. You might as well just breathe and maintain a considerable distance from that person. And at the end you go, there is no fear, so there is no problem. Are you following? Yeah. So I'm going to be connecting this to your business. Sorry, it's a very broad topic. You can see we are talking about how it affects Cold War. Now let me mirror it out to Cold War. We are in a world where people stay in their corner and they scheme. The way you are in your house, that's where people are in their house. And people plot. And people determine, okay, this is how I'm going to react. If you are somebody who is not emotionally intelligent, you will always fall prey to the plots and plans of people. You are going to be easy to demystify. There was a reason why when they keep asking Jesus some of those questions, what he did was right. Sometimes he went away. Even at the time when they said, okay, you won't pay tax, don't you know you're supposed to see? The only sign you will get is to go and get the fish from somewhere. Are you all following what I'm trying to say? So emotional intelligence means you understand that you are not other people. You make presumptions and assumptions for them intelligently, and then you can also you can predict their response. There's a way I'll come into this place and I can predict the response I get. Of course, I'm meeting most of us here for the first time. I'm creating the first impression. That's what I'm trying to say. Over time, we might be friends, I'll be cloning, some will beat me here, but that first impression is important. What you must understand is there are certain things I'm not to do or I will easily demystify. Are you following? A lot of us don't have second impressions on people because we are not emotionally intelligent. I'm sorry, I'm not running off with that. I want to be sure that the little I put out is well consumed. Are you following? Now, the second one is reasoning with emotions. The next step involves using emotions to promote thinking and cognitive activities. Emotions help you prioritize what we pay attention to, what we respond to, and what gathers attention. A lot of us, some of the problem we have is that we do not pay attention to what will give us immediate benefit. I know you want to rule the world, I know you want to know the US, but you need to make money now. You need to sell that your product. You need to talk about it on social media. You need to be in business now. Are you following? Yep. Now he's concerned about what will happen in the next 5 years, or who will be the president. Are you eating now? Can you feed now? Is your business represented online? Are you doing the needful now? Emotionally, you are focusing these things on what economists will call scale of preference. You are focusing on what I need to do now. When I wake up every morning, I'm thinking of the next morning. That's why I'm coming here as a businessman. See, my book is at the end there. When you finish, you can buy it very cheap, 5,000. What it means is that I'm thinking also about the next page. Are you following? Intelligence means you're putting what matters more. See, you may wake up here or come out from here, somebody may not like you anymore, but no new money will not like you. Are you following? New money will always be, brother. You're not getting it. See, whether they like you or they don't like you is not relevant. Have a means of exchange that you will be loved at all times because it's value oriented. Are you following? So focus on the money. Focus on what puts you. That's the emotional intelligence here. Focus on that thing like this, you bread. Like whether they like you or don't like you, you are eating well. You are feeling well. Your life is thriving. Are you following? The third one is understanding emotions. The emotions that we perceive can carry a wide variety of meaning. It also means that, for example, if your boss is acting angry, it means that they are dissatisfied with your work, or it could also be that blah 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 blah. What it means is understanding emotions. A lot like what I said the first time. These things are made, they are all four, but they are similar, same thing. Managing emotions is the ability to manage emotions effectively, and a crucial part of emotional intelligence, the highest level of it. What it also means is that when people say things, a part of you is listening to what they are not saying. Sorry, I need to repeat this. Can someone be saying something and you're listening to what they are not saying? You know it's possible. And okay, you call, let me just say something you may know. Your mom says, see, I'm in a tight corner, but don't come. You're in a tight corner, but don't come, I am fine. My brother, it means that you should be coming. No, do you get the information is that is somehow. So that is where you employ, because what emotional intelligence means is you're going inside just your blockhead and you reason out what people say to you. You're not easy to, there's a part of you that think critically about it. So you're asking me not to come, but you're in a tight corner. Madam, are you okay? Do I need to come? Okay, I want to come. That also shows the person that on a different level you're connected to them. Are you following? Quickly, let's go to another one. I have less than 140 p.m. How to use emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence can be used in many ways. Number one, being able to accept criticism and responsibility. See, a lot of us don't know how to take criticism. I used to be there. Okay, a few days ago, somebody just corrected me on one of my posts. I said, okay, you know English, but this English seems to be this you meant and not that. Before I would have flared up. You normally said, if you want to correct me, you should have done that in the inbox, which means you want people to see that you are correcting me. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. But when you get to a point where it doesn't matter, you have learned, you will not make that mistake again. Are you following? Well, before I will flare up on who was watching. How can you know? Do you know who did? Or that you are not? And so, what emotional intelligence does is, you know how to accept criticism and responsibility. Secondly, being able to move on after a mistake. A lot of you today, maybe what you should do before you go is to forgive yourself. Forgive your past errors. See, we are not meant to come to this world to be perfect. It's only somewhere in Genesis that they told Abraham to walk before me and be perfect, which means he was imperfect. Do you get it? So what it means is that some of the errors we have made, we are evolving. We are journeying to our place of authenticity and truth. So we are supposed to make mistakes. We are supposed to make errors. And we are supposed to forgive ourselves. Maybe what you need to do today is to forgive yourself of those errors and all of these people are coming. Number 4, being able to share your feelings with others. 5, being able to solve problems in ways that work for everyone. Number 6, having empathy for people. A lot of us don't know how to mourn and how to be sorrowful with people. You know, you just feel, let me also explain something about life you should understand. Life is not a bed of roses or a harbinger of thorns. Life is a rich blend of destiny. Which means that today you're laughing at somebody, tomorrow it will reach you, it will be your turn. And the beautifulness or the robustness of emotional intelligence is, you know how to feel deeply for some people who have lost them. That's why when I clamor or say things about people on social media who have lost their people to this warfare, I personalize the struggle. I talk about it with so much passion. It is not because I've lost somebody, but if we leave this cankerworm to keep eating up it is going to affect me. Are you following? So you feel people's plight deeply. Somebody lost their brother, you mourn like it's your brother. If it is a social malaise you need to talk against, you come out on your platforms and speak against it. A cry Ubuntu and Ubuntu means I am because we are. And if you practice Ubuntu, it means you are as good as you. It's a chain. A break in the chain is a break in the transmission flow. Everybody should be carried along. And if you watch, where people get more successful now are where people operate on this philosophy of collaboration and unity. Competition does not reign anymore. You want to outwit the other. Does not reign anymore. So the emotional intelligence now is, what do I do with him so that we can bring out something excellent? Are you following? So you're looking for the neighbor you're going to merge with so that you can churn out something excellent. The 5th one is the reason why, not being judgmental of others and all of that. Emotional intelligence is essential for good interpersonal communication. Experts believe that this is the ability to help us in all important areas of life. I quickly go to a very important one about EI, and it's the ability to reflect. When your emotional game is high, you will also understand that there's a place of meditation. If you are here and you just spend 1 hour by yourself, every time you are with Chiemelie, you are having fun. Every time you are with a group of people, you are raising finger up. There is no time that you're sober. I mean, there's no time you're asking yourself, I did not do well here. Maybe I need to revisit my... Or there's no time you're playing back events. I did not act well with this girl. Do I need to tell her I'm sorry? Or do I need to go in forward and learn from the mistake? Are you following what I'm saying? You need all of those things. The ability to reflect comes from a high level of EI. Because you need to, before you reflect, means that you're sober. And they say a worthless an unexamined life is a worthless life. What it means is that if you don't have time to go back in your shell and ask yourself some deep questions, you will keep making the same mistakes you've made over and over again. So when you reflect, I think I have something in my slide here. I said the ability to reason with emotions is important because it helps us know where we feel. Also, it helps us know how to respond to people. Why is this person feeling this way? Why are they acting this way towards me? How have I helped or supported this cause? How am I, all of this is our questions. I'm just putting that, when you're asking those questions, you can answer them. I greeted this guy and it was cold. What did I do? It is hard. It's always, go and check. Most times, it's always people outside that are not doing well. We are always perfect. I don't know why. If you check most analysis, that guy don't do well. Okay, we do not personalize this, and that is why emotionally we are a mess. If you install these things I'm talking about today, well, before you look at it, like, maybe I did not act well. Many times when I check it, I found out that the flaw was for me. Or maybe my inaction. You can imagine somebody coming to greet you. Maybe you're carried away to other people. You did not. And then later, when you remember, the person is already angry and all. You should do what I call damage control. But no, that you are the big man. Why will I go and beg? No, I'm telling you what happened. And so when you don't beg them, this is somebody who has just left. In the mind, there's a cancerous wound. It is festering. Every day they remember it. They remember what you've done for them. Now, the only thing that can happen is for you to stomach your ego and your pride and do something about that problem. And you see, when you become friends with that person again, go and check. Most loyal friends you have are people you fought with. These are things you should check. I am not telling you that you can go back memory lane and look at when you an enemy, one enemy you become friend, it is almost inseparable because you both have seen different sides of that union. Are you following?
I'll try.
Sorry. Potential pitfalls. Sorry, I think I should skip this. So, having said this, I will want to quickly look at some other things about EI, which I wrote on different places on my slide. But basically, what I just shared shows us that if we are not emotionally intelligent, we keep making the same mistakes, right? Also, in your area of work, some of us are young people who are starting out businesses. Emotional intelligence is what you would need to get you to your neighbors who probably are selling the same thing you will be selling. Okay? The Bible says wisdom is a profitable thing. And what it means is that a lot of us should apply this wisdom so that we will always get the best out of human relation. Thank you very much for giving me audience. Maybe some other time
Thank you.